Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
Google Business News. September 11. 1540 America, New York. Present scenario on automated and rapid microbiological tests. Bussiness market demand 2021 to 2025 with top regions and countries data. SoccerNurds. Present scenario on automated and rapid microbiological tests. Bussiness market demand 2021 to 2025 with top regions and countries data. SoccerNurds.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 11. 1517 America, New York. Costs from extended COVID-19 border closures accumulate. Companies are delaying investments and cutting jobs, as strict travel limits, especially in Asia, weigh on sectors from manufacturing to education. New York Times Business. September 11. 1422 America, New York. Selfridges is now in the wedding business. Department stores are broadening their offerings to survive online sales. A London landmark will host your wedding. Carleen Noel and Danny Sains were the first to be wed at Selfridges on London's Oxford Street. The Library of Economics and Liberty. September 11. 1311 America, New York. Patriotism and nationalism. Back in September 2002, a little girl was born into a Canadian family with a Western dad and an East Asian mom. In November 2002, another little girl was born into a Canadian family with a Western dad and an East Asian mom.
Marginal Revolution. September 11. 1222 America, New York. Saturday assorted links. 1. Rationalist baby names? 2. New Brazilian econ Ph.D. student at UC Davis is in fact very famous. 3. Robbie Sove on vaccine mandates, NYT. 4. The demand for academic economists is rebounding.
New York Times Business. September 11. 1202 America, New York. Phony diagnoses hide high rates of drugging at nursing homes. At least 21% of nursing home residents are on antipsychotic drugs, a Times investigation found. Yvonne Blakeney and AMP. RSQUO's husband, David, a dementia patient, was diagnosed with schizophrenia shortly after arriving at a nursing home.
Daily FX Market News. September 11. 12 o'clock America, New York. U.S. dollar outlook hinges on inflation report amid Fed blackout period. The update to the U.S. Consumer Price Index, CPI, is likely to sway the U.S. dollar during the Federal Reserve's blackout period as the central bank braces for a transitory rise in inflation.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 11. 1019 America, New York. Hertz searches for a new CEO after bankruptcy. Hertz, the car rental company, is in talks to name a new CEO after emerging from bankruptcy under new ownership, people familiar with the matter said. New York Times Business. September 11. 1006 America, New York. A nick to Apple's profits could be a windfall for app developers. After a judge opened up a way to avoid Apple's commission on their sales, companies big and small are seeing dollar signs. A long-awaited court ruling could have huge implications for small developers and their relationships with Apple's App Store.
Wall Street Journal Markets. September 11. 10 o'clock America, New York. Natural gas market conditions look unnatural. Storage levels of the fuel look rather thin globally, while prices have surged. A cold winter in parts of the world could send prices even higher.
New York Times Business. September 11. 952 America, New York. Nicholas Davitz's, force behind A&E and the History Channel, dies at 79. He led the cable giant, whose eclectic mix of shows would include collaborations with the BBC and documentary-style series like Hoarders. Nicholas Davitz's in an undated photo.
Armstrong Economics. September 11. 923 America, New York. Biden exempts Congress from vaccine mandate but not post office. The rumors are flying because Biden has not actually released the executive order yet. Now it is clarified that the post office will be mandated to take the vaccine.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 11. 8:30 America, New York. Apple judge's warning suggests fight far from over. A ruling regarded as a partial victory for the iPhone maker in the App Store dispute describes the company as being on the brink of having monopoly power. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 11. 6 o'clock America New York, anti-racism push prompts rethink of Asia's beautiful white creams. Global skincare companies are split over a term commonly used on Asian anti-blemish creams that means beautiful white, with Unilever erasing it from products while Johnson says it isn't offensive. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 11. 5:33 America New York, DoorDash and Grubhub's tussles with regulators heat up. Food delivery companies are facing commission caps and other rules that threaten their growth.
Wall Street Journal Markets. September 11. 5:30 America New York, funds overseas cash in on crypto boom. A handful of European exchange-traded products have logged gains in the triple digits and beyond, but fewer available to U.S. investors.
New York Times Business. September 11. 5 o'clock America New York, the Nintendo Cafe in Japan is no longer a secret. Toru Hashimoto's Tokyo spot is a showcase for items he kept while working for the video game company. It used to be a members-only hideaway, but financial strain has forced him to open up. Toru Hashimoto runs a cafe that is a nostalgic repository for objects he kept during his decade as an engineer at Nintendo. New York Times Business. September 11. 5 o'clock America New York, to survive the pandemic, a secret Nintendo cafe is secret no longer. Toru Hashimoto's Tokyo spot is a showcase for items he kept while working for the video game company. It used to be a members-only hideaway, but financial strain has forced him to open up. Toru Hashimoto runs a cafe that is a nostalgic repository for objects he kept during his decade as an engineer at Nintendo. New York Times Business. September 11. 3 o'clock America New York, Fannie Mae will review borrowers' rental payment history. For decades, regular payments to a landlord haven't counted for much for many tenants trying to get a mortgage. Fannie Mae aims to change that. New York Times Business. September 11. 3 o'clock America New York, always pay the rent? It may help your mortgage application. For decades, regular payments to a landlord haven't counted for much for many tenants trying to get a mortgage. Fannie Mae aims to change that. New York Times Business. September 11. 3 o'clock America New York, remembering 9/11. The weeks and months that followed the attacks were a defining time for many, including on Wall Street.